The e-bike we're taking a look at today solves the 3 biggest problems all the super popular e-motos have. They don't have a functional set of pedals, they're all super loud, and they all start at around 5,000 bucks. The new BIBUFF GT600 solves all of this. It's got a whisper quiet 72 volt, 7,500 watt motor, a set of these, and it'll cost you about half the price as a regular e-moto. It's on sale right now for $23.99. Well, actually, even less if you use my discount code. So while we wait for the 72 volt, 30 amp hour battery to charge so we can take it out for a spin to test all of these, let's take a good look at this thing. Cue the B-roll. All right, let's talk about the important stuff. Let's see how the bike fits. For reference, I'm 5'9", and this is the bike in all its glory. So the first thing you're gonna notice is how tall the seat is, right? It's just a little bit above my waist, but they do that for one reason. That's to get some ground clearance down here, right? This is an off-road bike, and when the suspension compresses, you don't want the bottom here to touch the ground, right? So they gotta prop it up a little bit. But trust me, when you sit on it, the suspension compresses a little bit and it's all good. Check this out. Very nice. Now, I'm still able to touch the ground on both sides here, no problems. And the cockpit feels pretty roomy, right? It's not too up high, it's not too down low. It's just enough to put some nice pressure down on the front wheel so you can get some traction out there. I like the riser handlebars. They're nice and wide, which means I'll have a really good strong hold of the bike when it gets rough. And yeah, the seat's super comfortable. It's really long too, right? So like no matter how tall you are, whether you're 5 foot nothing sitting up here or 6 foot all the way back here, I mean, you're gonna fit on this bike very, very well. A couple things you should know about the bike. With the battery installed, fully loaded, it's 139 pounds. It's not the lightest thing out there, but it's manageable. Also, they make this bike in 2 different colors. You can get it in the all black like I've got here today, or you can get it in a nice bright orange if you like that kind of thing. The other big thing when it comes to this bike's specs is that it can hold a capacity of 500 pounds. That's a big rider on this bike. So if you're a heavier person, this bike's right up your alley. So the GT600 rolls on a set of 17-inch diameter, 70 by 100 tires in the back. That puts the tire at about a 3.5 inch width. They're super aggressive motocross tires. And up front, it's a 19-inch diameter tire, just so that you can roll over all the bumps and holes a lot smoother. So here's a look at the drivetrain, or lack thereof. The only thing there is back here is just a chain tensioner. As the suspension goes up and down, this makes sure that the chain stays on the back sprocket and the front chainring. It's a super simple setup, no derailleur, no gears. This bike is meant to be throttled. But having a drivetrain like this and a working set of pedals makes it street legal. Speaking of pedals, this is the setup up front. You get a decent sized chainring. It's protected by a metal guard. You get some pretty generic BIBUFF cranks and some metal Walgo pedals. Actually, nope, these are plastic. Wow. So the rear suspension setup on the GT600 is as simple as it gets. Just one big main pivot here. You get the swing arm back here and then your shock. All you have to do is make sure that these are tight and that's it. No maintenance back here. I really like how they added this little rear fender. It's not annoying. It's not going to get in the way, but it will stop all the dirt and mud to go into your shock here. This is going to keep the stanchions and the spring nice and clean so your suspension can run as smooth as possible. Speaking of suspension, check out our rear coil. It's got all the adjustments you could possibly want on a rear shock. First, it's a coil spring, which means you have preload right up here. You can tighten the spring down or loosen it up depending on what you weigh. This is just to adjust it to your weight. Next, you've got compression, the blue knob up here. This is basically to stiffen up the spring, just depending on what type of terrain you're riding. And finally, the red knob down here handles the rebound. This is to slow the shock down so it doesn't feel too springy like a pogo stick. I like it a little bit on the slower side, just so the rear suspension doesn't feel too springy, you know what I mean? lane, it needs to feel nice and slow and controlled. When you catch a pothole, the last thing you want to do is get bounced off the bike. So you want the rebound to be nice and slow. Looking up under the seat, looks like you get a brake light, tail light, and it might even have some turn signals here. We'll turn this on in just a sec, but check this out. This thing comes off, and I'm pretty sure this is how you get the seat off and get access to your battery. There you go, just like that. So with this removed from under the seat, we can get access to everything down here. So this is where the battery sits, nice and tucked in under the seat. It's a 72 volt, 30 amp hour battery. You can take it out with this handle here. It just flips up and then you can yank the battery out. There's 3 things down here. There's an on off button. There's a charge port to charge the battery directly if you want to charge the battery out of the bike. And there's a locking key here. This just keeps the battery from coming out of the frame. If you want to charge the battery while it's out of the bike, all you have to do is unlock it, slide the battery out, and then you can do it right here. Otherwise, if you're gonna leave the battery inside the bike and just want to charge it like that, there's a little cap here to take off. And then you get access to the charging port right from the bike. Check out the seat on this thing. There is tons of cushion down here, and it's actually textured pretty rough so that you don't slide back and forth. I really like this attention to detail. The fabric feels kind of plasticky, but that's probably just to keep it weatherproof, right? The last thing you want on an off-road bike is something that'll wear out. So this looks like it's gonna be super tough. So here's a shot of the suspension forks up front. They're inverted, which means the stanchions are down here. This is super popular on motocross bikes just to keep the front suspension as fluttery and as responsive to small bumps as possible. Of course, there's guards up front just to stop any rocks and dirt from hitting the stanchions if you're following someone. There's a big fender that mounts right underneath the bottom crown here. You get a metal number plate, and check out the adjustments you get up top. Up here, you get a quick adjustment for compression. It's as simple as it gets. You want to make the shock a little bit softer, just go back a couple. You want to make it stiffer to hit some bigger jumps, just go up a little bit. It's as simple as it gets. And at the top of the metal number plate, you get a headlight. This is pretty cool. It's got like a little bit of a shroud here, so if you don't want to blind traffic, you can kind of hide the top of your lights. It looks like it's got 4 big, large LED bulbs. We'll turn it on in just a second, see how bright it is. But first, let's check out the rest of the controls. Here's a close-up of the stem. It's nice and short, and it's got a little bit of a rise. I really like this because the higher the better for off-road bikes. And the bars are nice and high too. There's about a 2 to 3 inch rise here on the bars, and they're super wide like I showed you earlier. This will make sure that I have complete control over the bike when the ground gets rough. Here's what we're rocking with on the right side here, and it's as simple as it gets. First, you get your full twist throttle. It's pretty decent actually. You get some nice soft rubber inside, and you get to lock it out right here on the outside. And next to that, you've got your hydraulic brake lever. And on the left is where all the magic happens. You get the exact same grip, but this one's not a throttle. On the left, you also have a remote for all of your accessories. This includes your lights, your turn signals, as well as your horn. The remote next to that is for all of your power. You have plus and minus buttons to go up and down your pedal assist modes. You have the information button to cycle through some of the information on screen. There's an R button here. I'm not sure what this one does. And you have the power button. So let's hold this and turn the bike on. Okay, we'll hold the power button. Oh, so to unlock the bike, you need one of these little NFC cards. They give you 2 in the box, 1 to show and 1 to go. All you got to do is just rub it up against the screen here, and there we go. We've got power to the bike. So first on the left is the mode you're in. I'm sure if I just hold the brake here, there we go. It's going to bring up our speedometer. You can set it up in miles or kilometers an hour. Down here are your pedal assist modes. So looks like we can go down to 0 and go up to 3. Next to that is our voltage going through the battery. So this 72 volt battery charges all the way up to 84 volts. Next to that, you've got trip. If you cycle through the I button, you've got odometer, and then the voltage, the exact voltage actually going through the battery. That's pretty handy. And then back to our trip. And then here, of course, we've got a little battery meter with 5 battery bars. Let's check out the lights. Okay, here we go. Let's see what the light looks like shining up against the wall. Wow, look at how bright this thing is. And look at this thing, it's so wide. It'll light up a whole entire lane, maybe 2 in front of us. This is huge. Check this out. This headlight is unlike any other light I've seen. Check this out. When you turn the bike on, you get a nice subtle little blue glow in it. It looks so cool. And then when you turn it on is when the power kicks up. There you go. Super bright and punchy headlight. But just during the daytime, when you don't have this thing on, at least you get some nice, cool visibility. And now back, here's what we're rocking with. So the power's on right now, so there's no daytime running lights, but this does get brighter when I hold the brake. And we have turn signals. Ooh, sequential turn signals. Look at this. I can turn them both on at the same time too. Nice. And then when we turn the headlight on, of course, it's gonna lighten up and get brighter with the brake. Very nice. So with a bike that's said to go upwards of 50 miles an hour, it's really nice when you get a good set of brakes. Check out this massive dual piston brake from BIBUFF. And this thing bites onto 203 mil rotors. And I don't know if you can tell, but these things are super thick. This means that they're always going to stay straight. Rotors get really hot and then they have to cool down. So the thin ones get all warped. These will stay nice and straight. It's also nice to know that it's the exact same brake caliper as well as rotor back here. So same size and same pads go on the front and back. And finally, let's check out the beating heart of this thing. This is a massive direct drive hub motor. These motors are well known to be whisper quiet and deliver some of the smoothest power delivery ever. This one here is a 72 volt and it runs at 4,000 watts of nominal power. But that's not all. BIBUFF's able to cram 7,500 watts of power through this thing. Yeah, cut that. Okay, I think we've seen it all here. Why don't we take the bike outside and see how it really rides? Good morning. Time to get the ride going on this brand new BIBUFF bike. BIBUFF? I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna test it all today. You guys are gonna see exactly how fast it goes, if it can accelerate, if it can stop in time. We're gonna test it on hills, on flats, on and off road. You're gonna see it all. And the tests I'm gonna show you are gonna be black and white, right? I'm not here to sell you the bike. I'm here to just showcase the bike and show you what it feels like to ride it for the first time. If I find anything drastically wrong with it, you're gonna know about it, right? They did send the bike out for free. Yes, I do get to keep it. Yes, but they have zero say in what comes out from my mouth in this video about this bike. So why don't we get started with our first test? What a good looking bike, right? Oh, forgot to put the cap back on. We got a big full battery right now. Let's start with the hill test. I always start right here at our fire hydrant and up ahead. Pretty decent sized hill. It's long, it's sustained. I'm going all the way up in power mode 3. Holy shit. 40 miles an hour already going uphill. Oh my God. Whoa. Okay, I was not expecting that. Did you guys see that? That was insane. I was not expecting this much power from this bike. If it could do 43 miles an hour uphill, what's it gonna do when we go on flat ground? Let's go find out. All right, but just before we take it to Test Drive Island and really let it loose, let's see how quickly we can accelerate. Let's start right here at our lamp pole where we always start. And this bike's got 3 different power modes. So right now I'm in the first one. Let's go through them all since there's only 3, right? I want to find out if there's a difference in acceleration or actual power output for each power mode. So let's start it with number 1. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, we're in park. There we go. So it looks like the bike goes into park whenever you have the kickstand down, which is nice, which is safe, right? 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so number 1 is super tame, and it looks like it just stopped me at 13 miles an hour. All right, so we're not gonna get to 20 miles an hour on this run here. So let's turn around, go to power mode number 2, and oh yeah, power mode number 2's got a lot more power. Let's get lined up again and see what power mode number 2 gives us for acceleration. All right, here we go. Power mode number 2. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, a lot more power. 17, 21, 24 miles an hour in power mode 2. You know, like this bike, I'll say it again, I wasn't expecting this much power from a bike in this price point here, this kind of category. And it's silent too, super nice. Okay, let's get lined up again, put the plus button. So we're now in power mode 3. You guys ready? 3, 2, 2, 1, go. Oh my God. I wheelied the bike. Oh my God. I'm gonna have to lean forward, otherwise I'm gonna lose control of this thing. Okay, you guys ready? Let's try this again. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my God. Holy shit, this thing pulls 30 miles an hour. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, I was not expecting this much torque and this much acceleration from a direct drive motor like the one behind me. Holy, that was crazy. This is gonna be fun. Ew. Okay, while we wait for the ferry, let's do some light off-roading, shall we? Starting with the gravel here. As always, we're gonna try to keep it tame here. Park's got a lot of people, but when we can, let's open it up. Look at this in the grass, just like a cloud. This thing's great. Pretty decent traction too with the tires. The compound's just so soft in here. It just like Velcros you to anything. Even some loose terrain like gravel here. You can still set it free a little bit. Very, very nice. So I'm gonna try to keep it to about 20 miles an hour here. There's some blind corners. But yeah, like very controlled. The suspension just feels like it tracks the ground perfectly. Like it just leaves my tires on the ground exactly where they should be. And my body just floats over the bike. It feels really, really cool. So many bugs in here. Definitely getting extra protein today. Yeah, super, super nice. Oh man, and these brakes. The more I'm riding, the more they're getting bed in and little bugs everywhere. Wow. Look at this traction. Let's see if I can break it loose. Okay, I'm gonna go on number 3. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it definitely wants to break loose in number 3 mode. Man, this thing's got a lot of power. Oh, I gotta be careful. Holy. Okay, so before we take this thing all the way up to its top speed, look at this. Like, I still have little knobbies on the tires. They are brand new. They're still a little bit waxy here. Let's see if we can kind of like, you know, rub a little bit of this wax and really get down to the nice grippy rubber and see how this thing handles. These are pretty heavy duty dirt bike tires, right? Like they've got some really nice soft rubber. I don't know if you guys can see, but I can push in the treads with my fingers. They're super nice and soft, which will get us a lot of grip on the pavement. Hopefully. But what I'm more interested to see is when we lean it over or when we basically get up to speed, these aggressive off-road tires are usually fairly loud. So let's see how much tire noise we can hear from these things. So I'm gonna go in pedal assist or power mode 2, which takes us up to about 25 miles an hour. And then we'll lean it over and see what the handling's like. Okay, 25, let's lean it over. Okay, very nice actually. Yeah, like the tires and the suspension both make me feel like I'm just Velcroed to the road. I have zero problems in leaning this thing like way over. No problems whatsoever. And the weight is just so low on this bike. Everything's right between my legs. It's low to the ground. It's right between my legs, right? Obviously, I have that huge 4,000 watt motor back there, but that's just giving power to the wheel. So it's a really good handling bike. We'll see how it feels once we take it off-road, but so far on the road, very, very nice. And you guys hear anything? A little bit, right? Like I hear the tires just a little bit. I've definitely had way worse for noise on these aggressive dirt tires. The ride on this thing is so smooth. It's quiet, the motor's quiet, the tires are quiet. Like this is a very good riding electric dirt bike. Very, very good. Let's keep going. Okay, here we go. Time for the top speed run. Now, this is a 4,000 watt direct drive motor that peaks at over 7,500 watts. This thing is nuts. And looking at the website over here, check it out. So like I said, it peaks at 7,500, but look at the torque this thing is able to put out. 400 Newton meters. I don't know if I've ever ridden something that powerful. Well, actually no, maybe not even that dirt bike. I think it was 320 or 340 or something, but 400 Newton meters coming from this motor is just insane. So looking at the website, it does say it can get a top speed of 55 miles an hour. Now, is that going to be 55 miles an hour like with nothing on it, just spinning, or are we going to get anywhere close to that with me on it? For reference, I'm about 200 pounds, maybe a bit less, 195 with all the gear on. Let's do it properly here. I'm going to have the GPS on the left here, and I'm going to go into power mode number 3. Now, you guys saw on the acceleration test, I almost lost it. I just cracked it and I almost lost the front wheel. It just went up and up and up and I had to stop. So I'm gonna try to go nice and slow on top speed run and try not to lose the bike. Okay, no one coming. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, here we go. Wow, this thing is so smooth and quiet. 40, 42, 44, 47, 49, 50 miles an hour. Let's go, Arrow. Oh. Okay, so I got 50 miles an hour confirmed on this thing. And I'm not mad at that. Like, I understand that, you know, different people with different weights are going to be able to get different speeds on it. So if you weigh less than I do, you're probably going to get, you know, above 50 miles an hour. If you weigh more, you might get a few miles an hour less, right? But man, 50 miles an hour on this thing is just insane. Okay, I'm going to keep it in number 2 because number 3 is a lot of power. Let's keep going. Okay, so to me, the biggest and coolest feature on this GT600 is obviously the way it looks, and obviously the amount of power you get from this ginormous direct drive motor in the back here. But also the fact that you get a bike like this with this much power that looks like this, that you can pedal around town while looking fully legal, right? You have an operating set of pedals. Now, it's not a big drivetrain, it's just basically a chain tensioner back here, but it does still have pedals, so we gotta test it. So let's see what pedaling this bike's all about. I'm gonna start in pedal assist 0, which is no, oh my God. Okay, which is no power, and it's not good. Actually, it's horrible. It's so heavy, there's no gears, and every time I put a little bit of power into the pedals, the bike kind of like shifts up with the suspension. It's really weird. And the seat, you know, the seat's got kind of edges on each side. When I'm just sitting down, it's totally fine. Like, it's got kind of like a flat top, but on the edges there, when I'm pedaling, it really rubs against the inside of my legs and it's not comfortable. Let's go in pedal assist 1. There we go. So now I'm in pedal assist 1. Obviously this bike's got a cadence sensor, right? There's no gears back there. So all I got to do is just move the cranks and it's going to get me up to top speed of level 1, right? Which is 13 miles an hour. Let's go to pedal assist 2. There we go. Bit more power, and that brought us to 25 miles an hour on the dot. And you guys can see there, right? Like the speedometer and the GPS are both perfectly synced. So very, very nice to see. And let's go to power assist number 3. Oh my God, look at this power. Oh, I will never get over how weird it feels pedaling a bike at 50 miles an hour. Oh my God. This thing is just crazy, man. So while we're out and about testing the throttle and the pedal assist, I really want to get a feeling for how responsive the power kicks in. So right now I'm going to go in pedal assist 3, which is the most amount of power this thing can get. And I'm just going to try to just crawl along here. Oh, that's hard. You see, like right now I'm barely moving the throttle. it's just so much power back there. It just wants to go. But if I just find the eighth of an inch the power comes in, I can sort of just crack it and just let it open just a little bit. But it doesn't take much to like fully get a ton of power. It's not the most detailed throttle I've ever had, especially in the higher levels. In number 2, it's a lot more manageable, right? Like the power is a lot less. It's super easy to control, right? So, you know, if you're out racing this bike on a dirt track, or if you're on a dirt road where there's nobody around, yeah, keep it in power level number 3 all day long. But if you're gonna be out, you know, amongst other pedestrians on the street, on the road, you gotta keep this thing in pedal assist number 2 for sure. Unless you wanna get, you know, around other cars, or maybe go the same speed as other cars if there's no bike lane. That's when, you know, you get to open it up, and it's a lot safer going the same speed as the other cars, right? At least you're visible. You're not gonna get smoked from behind when, you know, someone not paying attention hits you. But man, the power is just instant. And how about the pedals? So I'm gonna go in pedal assist 3 here, and I'm gonna start pedaling now. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay, there's a big difference between the power that comes from the throttle and the power that comes from the pedals. The curve, the power curve is completely different. Like I can start pedaling and I'm still in pedal assist number 3. I'm still gonna be able to get up to that speed, but the power comes in nice and soft and then starts ramping up as I start gaining speed. But the throttle, oh, it's just like instant power right off the bat. Just throws you into the back of the seat and just makes you hold on to the bars. This thing is crazy, man. Okay, so as we head over to get set up for the brake test, I want to give you guys my first impressions on this bike. And let's go through the website to look at some options you get here. So obviously there's 2 different colors. There's the black that I'm on today, and there's also a orange color. They're both the same price. Orange is really loud. It comes with orange rims, orange frame. Obviously the controller, the seat, the battery's all black too, but it looks pretty loud if I'm gonna be honest. They also give you an option to replace the pedals with pegs, right? Like that's pretty cool. It's only $200 more to get the pedals and the pegs for this bike. If you're really not gonna ride it anywhere, you know, that requires pedals, right? Like if you're only gonna be riding this thing on dirt roads in the mountains, or maybe on a dirt bike track, you're never gonna need pedals, right? In fact, you'd probably be safer on pegs. But if you plan on taking this bike out, you know, using it to commute to work, or just going out for rides, anywhere where there's gonna be pedestrians or roads or things like that, you're gonna need those pedals to look and, you know, comply with the laws, right? You can set the bike up in pedal assist 1 here, and you're gonna be well within the rules of a class 1 to 3 e-bike. But it's pretty cool. They give you the option. They also give you the option of getting the bike with a spare battery, right? So you can get it with 2 batteries, and that'll be $3,200, right? You can get the bike, 2 batteries. Oh, no, never mind. So there's 4 different options. Look at this. You can get just the bike, right, with 1 battery. That's $23.99. You can get the bike with 1 battery, e-bike and e-moto for $200 more. And then you can get just the bike without the pegs with 2 batteries. That's $28.99. That gives you a spare, right? So if you want to keep a spare in the truck, go out and about, come back, have it charged up already, just hot swap and go back out for more. Or maybe, you know, like keep it at the track, right? Have 2 batteries charged up and go for a couple laps, come back, hot swap the batteries, go back out for another race. Super cool to have that set up. And that's $28.99. And if you want it all, you want the pegs, you want the 2 batteries, $3,200. And they do have some pretty sick limited time offers going on right now. $150 off. I'm gonna see if I can sweet talk them into giving us an even bigger discount code, since they already have $150 off on their website, but time will tell. if I can, it'll be right underneath the screen here or in the description. But super cool options. They also got a bunch of accessories, things like that. But yeah, man, like I wasn't expecting the type of performance that I'm seeing from this bike. Mind you, I didn't really look at the specs until I started riding it and started experiencing something that was way more powerful than I was anticipating. And it makes sense, right? 400 Newton meters, a ton of power, and it's super silent. Like the ride quality on this bike is really nice. It's comfortable. The shock back there is fully tunable. I'll get into that a bit later, but yeah, just feels really good. Like it feels like a dirt bike. The suspension's nice and slow and composed. It's not springy like those cheap e-bikes. It just feels really good. And the build on this thing was super easy. I mean, it's a heavy bike, yes, but the battery comes completely separate in a different box. You know, you put the front wheel on. I probably would recommend to have the bike upside down, put the wheel on, get the fender on, and the handlebars. It's that easy, right? There's a couple plastic pieces to put on, like the rear fender if you want it on or not. That's up to you. And then you just slide the big battery in there, give it a good charge, and then you're off to the races. It's super simple. Yeah, all the tools are provided. There's nothing to it. So yeah, first impressions on the bike are very positive. And for a bike in this price point, I kind of expect that, right? It's not, you know, one of those cheap $1,000 e-bikes. It's up there. I mean, it's nowhere close to, you know, the price you're gonna pay for a Sur-On, a Talaria or something like that goes this fast with 72 volts. You're gonna pay double, if not triple that for an actual bike like that. But this has so many more perks that a Sur-On wouldn't have, like pedals, like being able to be street legal, being able to, you know, go on any path you want with those pedals, and being able to be put into a power mode that's completely legal. Like right now, look at this. I'm just in pedal assist number 1, doing 12 miles an hour, just, you know, having an easy cruise around. Super comfortable, super safe. I've got one hand on the bars, you know, it's really nice. So yeah, first impressions, very positive. Okay, here we go. Let's get set up for the brake test. Here's where I want to stop by. I don't want to go a single inch past this marker here. And right up here, I've got a marker, and there's about a 20-foot distance. I know it doesn't look like it on camera. It's a big fisheye lens, but trust me, it's about 20 feet. I'm going to try to go about 28 miles an hour, which is my kind of test speed, right? Like most e-bikes go about 28 miles an hour. I know this bike goes way faster than that, but let's see if we can just compare the braking performance between bike and bike and bike. And that's basically the only way I have of doing that. So I'm gonna go a little ways back. I don't need to go that far with this bike. It's gonna get to 28 miles an hour super quickly, but maybe just over here, we'll turn around. So I found out that pedal assist number 2 only gets me up to about 25 miles an hour. So I'm gonna go in pedal assist number 3. I've got the GPS here. As soon as I see, you know, 29, 30 miles an hour, I'm gonna stop. We're gonna get down to 28 just before that first marker, slam on the brakes, and see if I can stop within that 20-foot distance. You guys ready? Let's go. Oh, I'm in park. There we go. Okay, let's look at our speed. Okay, 32, 31, 29, 28, and brake. Oh, yes. Wow. Just wow. Look at this. Like, there's still room, probably for another like bike and a half. That is crazy. But, you know, if you look at the setup on this bike, right, it's got big 203 mil rotors, front and back. It's got really wide, they're not 4-piston calipers, they're only dual piston, but the pads are super long, right, which gives it a very strong bite onto those big rotors. And you guys saw in the handling test, these tires are super grippy, super soft, right? So it was very easy for this bike to dig into the nice dry roads that we got on today and stop well within the 20-foot distance. That's crazy, man. This bike hasn't let me down yet. This is really nice. All right, here we go. Time to take the GT600 off-road and maybe onto the beach. I don't know how these little little tires. Not that they're little, right? Because these are really aggressive tires. They're meant for the dirt and the track. But I don't know how they're gonna do on loose terrain, like the sand on the beach here. So let's see if we can get it stuck. Okay, try not to hit my camera on these barriers here. All right, let's open it up. Woo, woo, woo. Very nice. This bike just feels Velcro to the ground. It's so smooth. Mind you, I mean, this isn't the roughest trail out there, but there's still quite a bit of roots and ruts in here, and this thing just glides over everything. It's super smooth. All right, open it up here. Yeah. Woo! Okay, looks like we got a bit of beach. Very, very nice. Yeah, a little bit of beach. The water's pretty high, actually. I don't know, let's see what happens. I'm gonna leave it in power mode 2 here, just to see. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Yeah, see, it's not a ton of beach, but this bike has a lot of power. It's okay on the sand. I mean, it's definitely not the bike you want for the sand. Here, I'm gonna put it in number 3 here. I'm just churning through the sand. Yeah, it's definitely got the torque you want for off-roading. I just don't know if the sand is the place for this bike. Yeah, there's too much water to go through here. So there you go. I mean, it gets on, it gets off the beach. I don't know if a direct drive motor is what you want for loose terrain like that. I feel like, you know, the magnets in there would eventually overheat. It definitely did it fine, had no problems. I'm gonna leave it in number 2 because number 3 is pretty aggressive here for these little turns, and you know, there's still people that walk these trails here. I don't want to bump into anybody that's around a blind corner here. I'm gonna keep it tame just so I don't hurt me or someone else. But yeah, there you go. Off-road test done. I mean, obviously this bike is capable a lot more aggressive trails. I just don't have any around my house. So for today, that's as aggressive as they'll get. Obviously, this thing has enough power to get onto the track, get some jumps in, right? It's got some really good soft suspension with some really good rebound in it. Like, it just feels like a cloud. I am loving my time on this thing. Let's keep going. All right, here we go. I've been on this bike for a solid 2 hours now, and let's just talk about bike and ride quality on this thing. Let's go through it all. Let's start with the contact points. The grips are okay. They're not the best, right? Like, look at this. I can move the left grip, right? Like, I can move it with my hand. I don't know if there's anything I can do to tighten it. It doesn't have any lock-on collars on either side. It's just meh, right? It's pretty hard plastic, not the grippiest. If you're gonna be riding this thing off-road, I would definitely invest in some better grips. The throttle's okay, right? But you know, you might want to just switch them both out just so that you've got a consistent feel between, you know, both hands. The seat's great. I have no problems with the seat. It's nice, it's long, it's padded, and when you're sitting on top, or even better yet, like in the groove, this thing is very, very comfortable. The one and only time where it's not comfortable is when you're pedaling this thing, and realistically, the only time you're gonna pedal this thing is just to show people you're on a bicycle and not a motorcycle. But we all know what this thing is, right? It's a dirt bike with pedals, right? Like, just to slide into the gray. The pedals are okay, right? Metal Welgo pedals. You're gonna be racing this bike. If you're gonna be, you know, on the dirt track and stuff like that, I would probably opt to get the bike with the pegs. It's gonna put you, you know, dead center, just like a regular dirt bike would. The brakes are already set up dirt bike style with the left rear brake and the right front brake. So it's already set up the way a motorcycle or dirt bike would be set up, right? So you're good to go there. You know, if you are gonna be doing some off-roading, some heavy off-roading, maybe going into the mud and stuff like that, I would definitely upgrade the pedals, something with, you know, taller metal pins. But, you know, as a start, it's okay. They're okay. The frame's really good. It's not super cramped, right? Like a lot of these dirt bikes out there, these electric dirt bikes are tiny, right? You get them with, you know, little 12 to 14 inch wheels, or, you know, the 14, 17. But these are full size wheels, right? Like, they're a good solid size. It puts the bike up a little bit higher, but you know what? That extra height gives you more ground clearance, right? When you're going off road. So I really like the bigger wheels, and it gives you, you know, the chance to get a nice roomy roomy frame. The thing, you know, you could be 6'3" and fit on the back of this seat and have no problems. You could be 5' nothing and sit up here, right? Like for me, I'm 5'9". I fit right in the groove of the seat and I'm super comfortable. The handlebars are not super high rise, right? They've got enough of a rise to get you in a comfortable spot, but they're low enough so that you can put some decent pressure on that front wheel to get some grip when you're going off-road. So I really enjoy that. The suspension on this bike is really nice. It's definitely way higher quality than I would imagine a bike like this would come with. The rear shock has every single adjustment you could possibly want, from preload on that spring to a compression to rebound, right? Like for a bike like this, you don't want that rear spring to feel springy. You don't want it to boost you and buck you off the seat. You want it to suck up the bumps, but really like be controlled on tracking the ground, not feel like a pogo stick and bounce you off the bike, right? It's nice and slow, it's controlled, it feels like a dirt bike shock. It's really nice. And same with the front. The front's not fast, it's nice and slow, it's super soft, but it's got a slow rebound, which makes the bike very just velcroed to the ground. It just feels controlled, you know what I mean? Like no matter how big the potholes are, it doesn't matter. The bike is so comfortable to ride. It's unreal. The tires are another thing that impressed me. You know, the tires are super quiet. They're almost as quiet as the bike is, and they're super grippy. The knobs on there are nice and soft, which gives you a ton of grip on the pavement and the dirt, right? You guys saw it in the gravel. It was digging in, no problems. Off-road, same thing. Very, very nice set of tires. They're super aggressive and they're not annoying when you're just riding the street. Obviously, if all you're gonna be doing is riding the street on this thing, I would probably opt to get some supermotos on this thing, but that's up to you, right? That's the beauty of it. The brakes on this bike are very, very good. You know, a lot of people are against putting mountain bike brakes onto, you know, an e-moto, right? And I kind of understand, right? Like you kind of want something a bit more beefy, but trust me, I do this brake test with a lot of different e-bikes, and the braking performance on this bike is very strong. Obviously, if you're doing 50 miles an hour, it's gonna take you a little bit longer to stop, but so would motorcycle brakes, right? It's just up to the rider to be really in tune with how fast they're going, how fast they're riding, and the amount of time it's going to take you to come to a stop, right? That's up to you. And finally, the electronics on this GT600 here from BIBUFF. Guys, I really like the motor. The motor is like one of my favorite motors out there. It's quiet, it's smooth, it's super fast. You don't hear it back there. This is exactly what an electric bike should have. You look at any of those mid-drive Surons, Talarias, or any of the new brands like Yasma or, you know, Strike, or any of those new bikes. With a mid-drive bike, yes, you're gonna get right away a bit more torque, but this direct drive motor just blew me away with 400 Newton meters of torque. It is insane in power level number 3. I've never felt this much torque from a direct drive motor. Like this thing has everything that I would want in a motor myself, right? Like I'm not a racer, I don't go to the track, I ride a bike to cruise, to go and explore, and this is exactly what I would want in a motor. The throttle's okay. I feel like it could be a little bit more detailed, right? Like I feel like, especially in number 3, I feel like there should be a little bit more finesse with the power. I don't know if you can kind of fix that in the settings, but this leads me to like probably my only gripe with the bike. This screen. I have some issues with this screen. It's okay. It's not the brightest screen I've ever had. It's, you know, like I've got sunglasses, yes, right? But you guys could probably see on camera, it's not the brightest screen. I've definitely had better, right? The information's kind of all over the place. You do get access to everything, right? Like the voltage is there. If you click the information button, you've got the odometer, you've got the voltage exactly for the battery, you've got a battery meter here, you know, your speedometer, things like that. That's fine. screen. But when you go into the menu of this thing, it is impossible to know unless you had the instruction manual right next to you. It's impossible to know what these settings mean. Like what's 04 and 1. Like I have zero idea. You know, for a $2,000 bike, I feel like they should go the extra mile and give you a computer, right? Like a screen that has an English, or you know, even like a fully written out menu, right? That way you know exactly how you're tuning the bike. I don't even know if there's ways to tune the bike because all I see is numbers when I go into the menu, and that's my gripe with this, right? Like I know this screen would like fit on any bike. It's really like an off-the-shelf kind of thing. I don't really like that. I kind of wish it had a menu that was all written out. You knew exactly what settings you're changing. You could change the language, right? Like it would have English, French, obviously, like, you know, Mandarin, Korean, it would have German, things like that. But like if you put together, and this is for all the people that manufacture these e-bikes, right? Like please give us screens or spec your bike out with a screen that has a decent menu that you can understand without the instruction manual. Right? Like this bike has so many settings in there, I know, but I don't know what they are because I forgot the owner's manual at home. And if I wanted to change anything on this thing, I can't because I have zero idea what sub-menu 4 means and what the 1, 2, 3, 4 options are in it. That's my only gripe so far with the bike. Let's keep it going. Let's see what it's like in the gravel. Oh, get out of park. Okay, here we go. Little back wheel spin there. Yeah, the tires are hooking up so well. They're just such soft compound. I'm sure that's not going to be good for longevity of the tires, but right now they just feel like Velcro. Super nice. Like the bike feels like riding a cloud. It's so soft and so composed. I just feel like I have so much control of the bike, even on, you know, like undulating terrain. It's very, very nice. All right, let's keep putting some miles on this thing. Wear down this big battery. Let's go number 3, let's go. All right, here's what I want to do. My battery's down to about half, right? I've got 3 battery bars right now, and sometimes I see it click in and out, right? Let's see what kind of top speed we can get with a half battery. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, I feel like if I just lean back a little bit, I could still pick up that front wheel. Okay, 36, 41, 43, 44. Yeah, there you go. So with this bike, you are going to get top performance, right? Like as good as it gets with a very full battery. The more it goes down, right, this massive 8,000 watt motor back there is just going to require so much power from this battery that it's just not going to be able to supply that 7,500 watts to that rear motor when the battery goes down, right? So expect a little bit of a diminishing performance as the voltage goes down on your battery. That's just the way batteries work. All right, here we go. Let's do hill climb number 2. I've just dipped 2 battery bars right now. We've done 12, 13 miles so far. Let's go power number 3 and make sure we got our GPS here. You guys ready? There's some construction at the top of the hill, but let's see what kind of speed I can get before I get there. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh yeah, still picks up like a bat out of hell. I don't know if you guys saw there, I got up to about 24 miles an hour, which is definitely less power than I had when we first started the video, right, with the first hill climb. So yeah, I feel like this is a battery that's just going to gradually just give you less and less and less and less power as you go down. Not like full power all the way to 30% and then it's going to go into protect mode. It's just going to gradually give you a little bit less power throughout the whole battery range. Just what I'm feeling. So let's see what we've got. We're down to about 2 bars right now, and we are at 70 volts. So I brought up 72 volt battery chart. We started at 84. We've gone all the way down to 70. Yeah, there you go. 70 volts. 70 volts here puts us at about 45% of the battery life. Now, I have been noticing that the power is kind of going down a little bit, but that's just because the battery can't provide full power to this massive 7,500 watt motor back there, right? So it's kind of, you know, expected, right? But right now at 45 volts, if I keep it tame for speed and acceleration and things like that, I could probably double my mileage. We've done 16 miles so far. So, you know, kind of the golden rule, right? If you're riding hills, if you're riding full speed, if you're, you know, in and around the 200-pound range, right, like a regular sized person, you're probably gonna get 1 mile per amp hour. And this 30 amp hour battery could most likely, real world, last us about 30 miles. All right, here we go. Final thoughts. Who's the GT600 really for? I mean, it's pretty simple in my personal opinion. If you're looking for a Sur-Ron style, right? Like an e-moto, very capable bike that has a ton of power. It's got Sur-Ron power, 50 miles an hour, 400 Newton meters of torque, a ton of power, but it's got all the benefits of an e-bike, right? With perfectly functioning pedals, with a super silent direct drive motor. It's got NFC, it's got security, it's got a battery you can hot swap. It's got so many perks that an e-moto doesn't have, right? So it's kind of the best of both worlds. And you know what the best perk is to this bike right now? It's the price. You can pick this thing up right now for a hair over $2,000. That's a fraction of the price you'd be paying for any Sur-Ron style bike, 72 volts with this amount of power in it, right? It's a fraction of the price you'd be paying for one of those bikes. And those bikes you can only ride off-road. You can't take a Sur-Ron onto the street without getting hassled by cops, right? Yeah, there's a bunch of people online that make it look like you can just go around and do nothing and the cops will leave you alone, but that's not the same in every state. Believe me, there are lots of people I know of that have gotten their bikes confiscated because they don't have working pedals or lights, and you know, they're just obviously riding them like idiots, right? They're not following the laws and speed limits. But with this bike, you can, and it won't empty the bank. Right now, BIBUFF's got some promotions going. They've got 150 bucks off this thing, and as it is right now, it's $23.99, so that'll put it to 22 and change, and that's with the discount code they've got on their website. If they're nice enough to give me an even larger discount code, usually they do, I'll put it right underneath here on the screen, or if I get it a little later on after I've published the video, it'll be in the video's description. So don't forget to look. It'll help you save some extra money, right? And that goes a long way. So if the GT600 sounds like it's the perfect bike for you, do yourself a favor, click on the link in the description. It'll take you right to their website. Or better yet, if you're watching this on your big screen, get your phone, open up the camera, and just scan that QR code right here. You'll get a little pop-up that you can click on, and it'll take you right to their website. From there, you can choose your color, you can choose your battery configuration, and just get it mailed to your front door. It's super easy. Don't forget to enter the discount code at checkout. It'll help you save some money, and you're off to the races with a really good quality bike that's just a hair over $2,000. Man, this is as good as it gets. For that price, trust me. And if the GT600 is not the perfect bike for you, that's okay. Maybe the bike in this video will be more what you're looking for. I'll see you over there.